Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to another of our class. Today's topic is sketches and design. At the end of this duration, you should be able to define a sketch. You should be able to distinguish between sketch and freehand sketches. You should be able to identify the elements of sketches. You should be able to identify the features of a good sketch. You should also be able to apply the rules, ratio, and proportion. You should also be able to sketch three-dimensional object using pencil. Right? In previous class, we looked at some tips for good sketch, and that is also outlined in your textbook. All right. So here we have some drawings, and I will try to go through as many of these drawings as we possibly can with you. All right. So the first one, we did the first 1, 2, and 6 last week for some group. I'm not quite sure if I did 6 with you. I will be doing, I'll give you a choice. Which one do you want me to start with? Or probably I should start with number 3, all right? As we have done 1 and 2 already. So I will be doing number 3. The first step to drawing freehand sketch is to establish your horizontal and vertical datum line. So the first thing to do is to draw our horizontal and a vertical datum line. So please draw while I'm drawing. The next step is to establish a point for your 30-degree angle line. So our next step is to draw radiating lines at 30-degree angle. So I place a point here, which will be used as for my 30-degree angle line. Draw a line there. In like manner, I go across to the next side, place a point here, then I draw a line from here. Now, it's now time for me to establish my overall length, width, and height. Here, ratio and proportion is very important, as the point which I established for the first side will determine the side of the other dimension for the other side, pretty much. So looking at this figure, here is the length, here is the width. The width seems to be about 2/3 or about 3/4 the length. The width seems to be about 3/4 the distance for the length. And the height seems to be about half the distance of the length also. So if I choose here as my width, it means therefore that my length should be about here, about some distance here, right? Or here. Now my height is about half the distance of my length. It means therefore the height should fall somewhere here. My next step is to establish a point above this line here, then draw a vertical line downward to that point. In like manner, we do the same thing. Place a point here, then draw a vertical line downward. Once you have done that, the next step is to establish the same distance here as we have here. Transfer the same distance here as well. Then draw a line from here to that point, one from here to that. The next step is to draw a line at the same angle or same inclination. Then try to transfer this distance onto that line. Then draw. So that is our outline. The next step is to cut out this section right here. From observation, the cutout seems to be approximately 1/3 of the overall length. So for that, I'll start here to there. So that is my cutout section. Next step is to place a point on this side here, point here to get this. The next step is to notice the distance here. This is approximately half the total distance here. So for that, I'll be using a depth of here, depth of about here. Then I'm going to draw a line from that point to that point. That gives the section here. Next step is to draw a line vertically downward. So for that, I place a point here. Then I draw downward. In like manner here, point here, then draw vertically downward. Then bring this in at the same angle, that down. My next step is to use a bright pencil and brighten up the outline. So for that, I start here, draw across there, come back here, draw down. And remember, we do not use any straight edge to assist, as this is freehand sketch. Then we join from here to there. And from here down or to that point. Then this point down. And there we go. We have our isometric block. Please note that you do not erase construction line. Yeah, they are to stay. Yeah. Any question, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so I will be moving on to question number 6. And again, same principle applies. For question number 6, I will be drawing the bottom section first, the lower section, then the piece up top here. So for that, I start by establishing my horizontal and my vertical datum line. Then I'm going to identify a point here. And a point here. Again, I'm going to establish my overall width, overall length, which seems to be about 2 times the width, or is about 2 times the width, which could be someplace here. Next point is to draw a vertical line down. Then establish my height for this. This height seems to be about half the length, which is about here. So I'm going to use here as my height. Place a point here, another point here. Next, I'm going to transfer this distance here. Then draw a line there. Then draw this across. Transfer this distance up here. Then draw that across like that. Now that I've established this, the next step is to cut out this section here. For that, I'm going to mark off a distance here that I want that to go in. This distance here. Then I'm going to place a point here. Then I'm going to draw a vertical line down here. One here. And I'm going to draw this up like that. One go across like that. Sorry, so this is pretty much the cutout section here. My next step is to draw this section. So for that, I identify a point here. Then I'm going to draw some vertical line through these points. One here, one there, one here, one there, and a line here. Now, my final step is to use a bright pencil or outline to brighten up this. Then I'm gonna, in light manner, I'm gonna brighten up this side also. Brighten that side. And that's basically it. You can go over the line several times to get it to look smooth, a little bit smoother. It's a bit more difficult to draw with the mouse. All right. And that's basically it. It's basically how we would draw that part. Any question, guys? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
Great. All right. All right. My next task is to challenge this challenge number 12. Question number 12. Question number 12. And again, I start by establishing my horizontal and vertical datum line. Then establish my 30-degree angle line. 30-degree angle line from here. I then establish where I want my width to be, and relative to my width, I establish my length. So if that's the width, the length should be round about here or someplace here. Then I'm gonna establish my height. which is run about here. Height from here. Yeah. And from that, it's now time for me to cut out this. And then draw a line from here to there. Then brighten up. All right. That's how we generate that. Any question, guys? Do you have any question? And we would apply the same principle to generate all of these, pretty much. Let me try to do this one. Let me tackle this one. Again, the first step is to establish my horizontal and vertical datum line. Then draw a line here at 30 degrees. Then establish my width, my length, and a point from here. Then place a point here. Then place a point here. Then draw a line parallel to that. Then one parallel to that. So we always draw a complete block first. Yeah? Complete block first. Then we remove the unwanted section. So our next step is to draw that. All right. So we establish that. All right. So we have all of this right there. Now we can go ahead and cut out a section here. And for here, we do the same thing. So probably I should start brighten up here so we can see what's going on. I would then start by drawing a line here. it's best to use those construction line. Once you stop using them, you'll find that your lines will go AY. All right. And that is basically it. It's basically it. Any question, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. I did. Yes, I did. Do you have any question, guys? Do you have any question? No? All right. Let us do one more, which might be a little bit more challenging than those. Let us do one which has circle. All right. Okay. Let us do one of these. All right. Let us do this one. This one. All right. So first we'd establish a rectangle for that part, for the base. So I would start by drawing horizontal. Let me get my construction pencil on. Horizontal line, vertical, 30 degrees, 30 degrees. Get my width, overall length here, there. So this is pretty much the framework for this. Now I'm gonna draw the section for here. Then I'm gonna draw this. Now I'm gonna apply a technique which is called isometric circle. And I'm gonna draw a line, get this into 4/4. I'm gonna draw this around like that. I'm gonna draw this around like that. And I'm gonna draw this, bring this up like that. And I'm gonna draw one line like this, one line in this direction also. Then I'm gonna transfer this distance here. Then I'm gonna draw the circle here. Then I'm gonna join here to there, there to there. Now that I've done that, the next step is to brighten up from there. Then draw this down like that. And I'm gonna draw this out like that. Then I'm gonna draw that section there. Yeah. Then this going down like that.
Sir, is this for 7 holding?
No. Why would 7 holding being here? Your class gone from this morning. So this would be that for that.
Right. Sorry, sir.
Yep. So I think